Welcome back to Tay Radio Marin. I am your host, Santi Hernandez, joined by my co-host.
Javier Vicuna.
And on today's show, we're going to be reflecting on summer, kind of like the end of summer. And, you know, a lot of students are going back to school and kind of reflecting on this, I guess, kind of like where we are right now.
Right.
And
the month of July was a very interesting month with a lot of changes. And I think it's important that we talk about it because we had a lot of summer. We had our summer interns this year for the very first time, and they were great. Some of you may have seen a couple shows that we did with them over the summer. It was a lot of fun, and it was a really great learning experience. But I also, went into a whole couple of different reflections throughout the summer. So yeah, it's a great topic that we're bringing up right now.
Yeah, and before that, I want to start off with an icebreaker question. And my icebreaker question is, I actually did not come prepared for one, but I will come up with one on the spot. Since we were talking about it with Kim, it's when you're tired and you're feeling really tired, what's an activity that can boost your energy up? Or like can distract you right away to like get into it?
See, that's a really great question because I've been really struggling with that. It's been an issue that I've struggled with a lot, but trying to I feel tired when I get back from work. Like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I don't even feel like there was a point where I was just like, I did not want to do and even play video games or make music or do something that I enjoy because I just felt so tired. But I then realized that it's such a mentality thing. Like, it's just you yourself telling your body, I'm tired, right? Because tiredness, I think, is both, you feel it in your body, but you also feel it in your mind, in your mentality. I'll talk about this on the show, but I really made an effort to go to the gym more consistently now. Mm-hmm. And I've been feeling really good. I think it's really been helping with my energy levels. And I think also just going the days where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can go to the gym. It's like, I just go to the gym because it helps. Like, as soon as I start warming up and stuff, my body already starts waking up. Mm-hmm. So I guess my piece of advice would be if you're trying to break from that tiredness is just try to move, try to do some sort of movement, maybe even walk outside, or I don't know, do some stretches. Stretching is really good. That kind of stuff wakes you up. It's true. That's why in longer meetings, right, where people are talking for a really long time, halfway through, they're like, oh, let's take a break. Everyone just take a stretch. Because I think it is important to have your body, have movement in your body, because it does really help you wake it up. And we have interesting jobs where we're sitting down and we're looking at a laptop for a really long stretches of time. Movement is good from what I've learned.
I also think it has a lot to do with the weather. Like today, we all three of us felt really, really tired, but it's because it's kind of cloudy, warm.
Which is really strange.
You want to be in bed type of vibe. Mm-hmm. But I absolutely agree with you. If you, I think there's different type of tiredness. The tiredness where you're physically tired, mm-hmm. and there are those tiredness where you're mentally tired and you're just kind of fatigued. There's also the fatigue part. And getting your body moving does kind of boost your energy a little bit, and can help you forget about you being tired. It has happened to me where I'm super, super sleepy, and then I don't know, I start doing something, and then all I know, I just have this huge amount of energy. Maybe it doesn't happen for you guys, but if it does, I would suggest just, getting movement in. But anyway, yeah. Let's start off with the first question.
Sure. I mean,
or your experience with summer.
Yeah, I guess to kick things off for me, I mean, July is always summertime is always an interesting time for me because it's my birthday month, or I guess July is my birthday month, mm-hmm. and that's really peak summer right there. So my birthday is right before 4th of July, so it's on July 3rd, and I turned 25 this year, and I think turning 25 was it's a big moment for me because I'm finally in my mid 20s, and it feels interesting, you know what I mean? I still feel like the same person that I was a year ago, but I think also I've been wanting to just do so much more change in myself. So that's why I, as a kind of birthday goal, or I guess birthday turning 25 goal is just being more consistent with the gym and just being more healthy with what I eat as well. Because I think I've just gotten into a really bad habit these past few years of my eating and just staying at the gym and being more active. Because ultimately, like I was saying in our icebreaker question, I do spend a lot of time on the computer, and I do spend a lot of time like working on a computer. I mean, that's my job. So I kind of just have come to realize like, oh, I really do need to put more time into my own mental and physical fitness because it's what's important. So yeah, but yeah, it was great celebrating my birthday. Got to celebrate with a lot of great people. And yeah, I mean, I started off the summer pretty strong, I would say. How about you, Santi?
I mean, I feel like I was asked this question. I don't know who asked this, but I felt like this summer for me, it flew by really, really fast. It definitely has a different vibe from when I was in school. Like summer felt time a little bit different, and then working, those. I guess I feel like I haven't had a full summer where things felt a little normal, and what I mean by that is I was in school summer, right, and then there was COVID, which lasted for quite a while.
So you're talking about like 2019 summer?
Yeah, I remember 2018 was still like kind of that was I was still in school.
Oh yeah.
And then 2020, 21, 22 summer was a bit different because we were locked down and then we had the masks and everything.
Yeah.
So it felt a little different. And then I lost family members during COVID.
Yeah.
And due to COVID. So summer felt a little bit different. And then I feel like this year was my first summer where things felt normal.
I
you know what I
agree
mean?
with
Like
you.
with society as well.
Yeah.
But even with that, I felt like the summer went by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working so much that I didn't feel like I enjoyed it as much as I wish I had, which brings me to anyone who's listening. When you get involved at work, it's easy to forget about having some fun. I mean, I'm a big believer of working hard, and pushing yourself. But at the same time, it's really important to have fun and enjoy. Like, I don't think I've been, I don't know. I just feel like I haven't enjoyed summer the way I remember it. And an example I can give you is I love Mount Tam. Mount Tam is one of my favorite places to go to have fun. And what I mean by that is I love to just take some snacks, drive up there and watch the sunset. I haven't gone up there.
Since before the pandemic?
No. This summer. Because I've been working so much. So I feel that, it's important to have fun.
And find time. Well, I mean, speaking of that, I think definitely one thing that I tried out this summer was I went to a lot more like concerts and outings than I usually do.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And with my friends and stuff, and it was really great. Because this kind of brings me back to my other point I was gonna make was this is a really interesting summer for me because I actually got to reconnect with a lot of friends that I hadn't talked to in like years. You know what I mean? Like years. And it's not that I reached out to them. They just kind of showed up. Like people. I just saw them through friends of friends, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen you in a really long time. Like, how are you? I was just meeting people left and right that I had not seen in so long. And I was just like, I think it was good though, because it's good to talk with people that you haven't seen in a really long time. Because it kind of puts into perspective where they're at in life, where you're at in life. And I mean, again, one of the things that I did was I did go out and do more, like went to go to more concerts, more parties with friends that I hadn't talked to in a really long time. And it felt good. So that's why I'm trying to encourage people to like, hey, reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a while.
I also think it has to do with, you're 25.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a time period where a lot of students are kind of done with their school and they're either coming back or they're kind of visiting at times in Marin, what I'm talking about. So like a lot of them are graduated, but those who continue, like, I don't know, they do more. I feel like 25 is kind of where they're done. No? Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah, it depends on who you ask, but I'd say for right now, from the people that I hang out with, most of the people that are in my age are already kind of done with college. But I do know people that have finished like they're teaching stuff and are like teaching at Davidson now and teaching at all
See, it's
these
what I
like
feel like
past
they're kind of like
high
coming.
school. Yeah, it's all kind of starting to come together, which is really weird to feel.
I was gonna ask you about that experience, because I can't pronounce her name right. Geverly?
Yeah.
She was one of the people that you went to school in, and then you learned that she's in law school, which, by
Right.
the way, that show was amazing. How does it feel when you meet other people that you were like in childhood, and then they're doing different things? I find it really cool.
I mean, it's really cool. I don't think there's anything like weird about it. It's just I think it's just a feeling that I get where I'm like, wow, like we're growing up. You know what I mean? Like I'm grown up. You know, and like I'm no longer 18. You know, I'm no longer a high school kid. I'm no longer a college kid. Right? Like I'm a grown adult. And it's yeah, no, it is, and I think the more I realize that, you also feel like one thing that I've also come to realize is that everyone matures at very different paces. So I've met people that are my age that still act like they're in high school, and people that haven't really matured since then, which is an issue in itself. But I've also gotten to meet people that have already advanced so far in their career at my age that are like, you know, like making like six figures, really successful jobs. And I'm just like, dang, like that's crazy. You know, like even though we all kind of started in the same place, everything kind of changes after high school because everyone takes a different path. And I really see that firsthand, you know, because we do hear that a lot. It's like, oh yeah, after high school, everyone goes their own way. True. But when you see it like face to face, it's just like, wow, like to me, it's a really, really like, it opens up my perspective on a lot of different parts of my own life and keeping in mind where everyone else is at in their life. So
yeah, just tying it into, you know, our topic of like summer reflections, I would say it's so, having those moments is so important in life because you realize that you can't compare yourself with someone else because they live a very different they're in a different route. Like you guys are all going, you know, we're all going.
Yeah, because not everyone goes to college after, or no one goes, or someone goes into a trade, you know, things like that.
I think we're all in the path of life. This is going to sound super deep. We're all in the path of life. Like we're all going to pass in our 20s and 30s and, you know, and our teens, but we're all taking different routes there.
Right.
And I think that's beautiful when you see other people, but it's also, for me, it's a big reminder of like, we're not all on the same route, and that's super. It's great because they're experiencing different things that they're experiencing different things. I'm experiencing different things, and that's what's great about life.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with you. I think being able to meet these people and reconnect with them is good. I mean, I've also seen. So okay. So like I was saying, in the summer, I did meet a lot of friends that hadn't reconnected in a long time, but also I've seen a lot of former friends who have fallen off the deep end, as in have gotten into drugs, are on the street, aren't doing too well, and that also makes me really sad to see because it's like I see them around, and Marin is a really small place, so you get to see, you know, everyone kind of comes back here, and I think I kind of mentioned that too in our show from last week, that everyone in Marin, everyone kind of always seems to find a way back here. Here especially just because of that, you get to see so many people that's how I was running into people, I guess, in the summer, was just because everyone is coming back and everyone's here.
Or they're on vacation, they come
and visit, and it's just like there's no place like this, like Marin County, and there's just people take really different paths, and again, seeing the friends that I had struggling so much also keeps me in check, and realizing like, dang, like I'm not, like, it makes me really sorry to see them in that state, but also makes me realize like, yeah, I mean, you never know what people are going through.
Agreed. I wanted to ask you, I find summer a great opportunity to try different things and explore other activities or hobbies because you can be outside more.
Right.
Is there anything that you did during the summer or explored?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I was going to talk about and mention was so I started really getting into video stuff, videography, and really delving into that world. and I made a really big purchase of some new camera equipment, a new lens, and everything. And it was a good chunk of money, but I've been really, really grateful for taking that risk because I've been learning so much with the camera. I've been able to film so many things in the summertime. Like you were saying, everyone's a lot more free during that time. So I got to get a lot of experience with my camera, and I feel just great because I'm continuing to build those blocks. Like the blocks that I created those seeds that I laid on the summer, they've been doing really well and growing in August. And yeah, I mean, that just goes out to anyone who feels like, who wants to take a risk. Life is full of risk. Like you're going to have to take risk in life. And if you play things too safely, I feel like you have no chance to grow. Like if you really want to grow, you have to take a risk. That's my opinion, and something that I've really learned this summer.
Yeah, I also saw it with our interns, which if you ever want to intern here, keep up with Find Your Way Marin, 1925, because they have a lot of internship opportunities, and it's because of them that we had our interns. And bringing back to what you said, I definitely saw that a lot of our interns, they were very new to what it is to podcasting and live streaming and knowing the angles, and
a lot of them were not familiar with using any of the equipment.
And when we first had the meeting with them, they seemed very quiet and kind of like,
well, they were all coming from different schools.
Yeah, and kind of like, I don't want to use the word shy, but it was more of like, I don't know what
I'm getting into or what am I getting into.
And then as we kept
teaching them and showing them,
as we kept asking, I think it was more of asking them questions, and that kind of made them learn more about what it was. My favorite example of this was when we were asking them to come up with topic ideas. And when we did that, we talked with them about creating a rundown, which basically means like the setup of the show. And they were asking questions, and their questions were very yes and no answers. But then when we were asking them, like, what about how can you ask them questions that can be more in depth? And they started coming up with more ideas, and that sparked something. But that's the whole thing. If you don't take the uncomfortable events or experiences, you won't learn. Because after, they ran a whole show by themselves, and that was really awesome to see. So I definitely, bringing back to the studio and what we're doing during the summer, that was a really a moment that showed that.
Yeah, no, totally. And that was our first time really showing what we've learned doing this show for now. Well, you've been doing this show for now 5 years, probably?
Going into 5.
Into 5 years. Me going into 4 years, I think, now.
I think Kim would correct me, because whatever she is.
Yeah, but we've been doing this show for a while, point is, and it's really interesting to be able to take what we have learned and teach it to new people, teach it to the interns. And I had a lot of fun with it because, there was at some point where I did express interest in wanting to become a teacher at some point. I don't know if you mentioned that you wanted to be a teacher at some point. No. But I definitely I was looking into it at some point.
I think I didn't want to be a teacher, but I've always wanted to have some type of interns. And we talked about this with the team with MCM, that it would be really cool to have interns to learn more about photography, videography, because that's more my area. And understanding it and being creative with it, because I felt. So here's the thing. When I was in school and I said I wanted to be a photographer and I wanted that career and I wanted to be in that area,
right?
Unfortunately, during this time, not my teachers weren't very supportive of that decision,
right?
Because they said that I wouldn't, I had to think about my future and I wouldn't sustain my living with that career. I think when I was younger, I really was I didn't like that they said that to me, because
Who
they
said that to you?
Many teachers.
Really?
They would always ask me to
think of a different career.
Yeah, think of a different career, because art doesn't seem very sustainable. When I was, in high school, that really frustrated me, because I said, but I don't want to study biology or be a teacher, or it didn't fulfill my
It's not what you were passionate about.
It wasn't what I was passionate about. But I always got frustrated when they said that. Now that I'm older, I understand why they were saying it. Was it the right answer? Probably not, but they were coming from a good place, because what they were seeing is, hey, when you grow up, you have all these bills that you have to pay if you want a car, if you want all of this, and if you don't have a a good job that pays you monthly, then you're gonna struggle.
Even teachers are struggling.
Yeah, and you'll struggle.
Even teachers themselves are struggling with that.
So, but I realized that was my escape in high school. Like, art and videography and photos was my escape for me not to get involved in things that were not of good influence. So when it was brought up to MCM, I said I would love to have some type of program that can, if someone is interested in how to take photos, to teach them that.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert,
but you could, your way around the camera.
Yeah, so that was the idea of it. So I didn't necessarily want to be a teacher. I just wanted to say, like, hey, there's other things that youth can get involved, because sports are really highlighted. Love sports, nothing against it, but there are other artistic things that I feel that can be very, very helpful for youth to get involved in and build goals based upon it, so yeah. So having our interns during the summer was great. If they have it next year, I hope more youth can get involved in being an intern here. I think you get a lot out of it.
And you'll be surprised. Like, one thing that I wanted to highlight about the interns we had this summer was how just their progress, how quickly they made progress in the 1 month of the internship that we had. Because all throughout, like Santi was saying earlier, they were all really shy. They all didn't really kind of like know each other. But the more they did shows, the more they practiced doing a show. Oh my God, like, it was awesome just seeing them like really like bring out what they wanted to talk about, and really show that. And that's why I was really, really impressed with their show that they did on where it was all 4 of them on, because each and every one of them had something to say in the conversation. And it's one of those things where it's like we like showed them, the basics, but they just went ahead and just kind of did their own thing. Almost like they kind of learned it themselves as they were doing these shows, and that really, you could really see that in that wheel of, or like the question show that we did with them. So that was really, really an awesome moment and a big, big highlight for me, seeing them progress in such a great way during this summertime.
Yeah, and going to what you were saying, trying new things, or doing new things, experiencing new things is super important, because it starts building you these skills that can be useful for other things. One thing for me is, for example, that I really enjoyed doing with my mom during the summer time is we started going on longer hikes, and we started taking trails that, for example, there's this wonderful waterfall here in Bolinas. It's a pretty long walk.
Is it like a big waterfall, or is it like kind of like a tiny one?
It's a big waterfall.
A big one.
The water ends up going to the ocean.
Oh, wow.
We've been there many times, but we were like, trying to go and practicing. My mom had a goal to walk to Mount Tam. That was her goal. And so during
like walk all the way to the top?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a trail.
How long is that?
I don't remember. She told me. But basically, we started going on hikes with her, and I realized, like, oh, how easy hiking. You're tired. Yeah. How easy hiking is. No. How easier the trail started getting as we started practicing. So, so that kind of became my little escape from working a lot. So you don't necessarily need to go on vacations to have fun. You can take a hike in a new trail here and explore, to make your summers a little bit more fulfilling. Right. I think for me, when I was growing up, I noticed that a lot of people, and social media now plays a big part of it. But back then, I was a child, didn't have social media. But it was that I had a lot of peers and friends and people that I knew that were traveling to so many beautiful places. And, that wasn't necessarily available for my family and I.
Right.
And that was hard as a child. But now that I'm grown up, I realize, well, it's economically really expensive. But also I was like, you can do so many things around here and still have a good time and still enjoy the summer weather. Maybe you don't like the ocean here in the Bay Area, but you can go up to small, an hour and a half drive and still enjoy like a small vacation.
Yeah, go to like the Russian River and Sonoma
Yeah, you
County.
can still enjoy beautiful, like even hiking and going to the waterfall or doing small things around the area here that makes you feel still like a vacation. If you can't afford it, you
Right.
know. So it's still, you can still find really nice places here in Marin for the summertime.
And then one thing that I've also really felt this summer is, I like going out late at night with my friends and stuff, but there's just no place that's open
That's the other
like
thing.
past 8 p.m. here in San Rafael.
don't
In
know.
San Rafael especially, or even all over Marin. Even Novato doesn't have anything open after like
I don't
6.
know why that is. And I'll give you guys an example of what we meant by that.
Yeah.
Is on Wednesday we
Yeah.
went to go watch a film at the San Rafael,
At the
the
San
Ralph
Rafael Theater.
and we were hungry. We were really hungry, and we were looking around, and the only thing that was open was a restaurant. But we got out at 8:30.
Yeah, 8:30.
I think we got out at 8:30.
Yeah, it was 8:30.
It finished 8:30, but we were like getting our stuff.
So
It was like 8:40.
8:45 we went into the restaurant.
Like almost 8:50.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I felt so bad because they were closing
At 9.
at 9. But the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we can still take your order." But I felt so bad. Like I wanted to eat so fast and get out because I didn't want them to be out late.
Right, because as we were eating, they started
I felt
like,
kinda
cleaning.
rude.
Started cleaning literally everything.
Yeah. And I realized then, I was like, there's no there's no like places to eat that are open really late. I don't know why that's in San Rafael. Is it like that everywhere, or does San Francisco
And San
have-
Francisco has a lot of places open at night.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, San Francisco is known for its nightlife. I just don't like going to San Francisco. That's the thing.
It's known for its nightlife? I did not know that.
There's a lot of places open in San Francisco. It's just that I don't like driving there, and
Really?
yeah.
I did not know that. I never pictured that.
No, there
I don't
is. There's definitely is. I mean, I went to a concert on Tuesday, and it was like 10 p.m. Plenty of places open at 10 p.m. in San
Oh,
Francisco.
really? Okay.
Plenty of places open, and there was a lot of people outside too. So, I'm saying, I wish Marin adopted that more because, again, as someone who has gone to a lot of different like social areas here in Marin, I've seen that there are like younger people moving here, but they all share the same sentiment of like, yeah, I wish more places were open later here in Marin County, but they're not, simply not. And yes, I mean, bars are open, but it's like, hey, I don't want to go to a bar all the time to go
Yeah, I was gonna
socialize
say,
or something.
I did
I don't
not
want to
notice
do that.
That there's more bars here in San Rafael that are open really late.
Yeah,
But-
I mean that's kind of the only thing that's open in San Rafael late at night. But it's like I don't want to go to a bar. I don't. Sometimes I just want to go hang out or go to a nice restaurant. So that's why I really miss BJ's. You remember BJ's, the restaurant in
That's so
Northgate Mall?
true.
Dude, I love that place.
Yeah, they closed until like 11 something.
Yeah, they closed
They closed
late at
really
night,
late.
and it was a really cool spot because it was all ages. Anyone can go in. It was open really late, like you said. I thought the food was awesome. I like the food at BJ's, even though I know they microwave all of it, but it's good food. I don't care, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that was one of the places that was open. I like the ambience in there too. I was like, it was just comfortable and it felt cool. And it was also great being able to watch like replays of some sports games there late at night and stuff. Like, it was an awesome, awesome place. And I was really, really sad to see it go. I think it's been closed now for a year.
Has
I think it closed last year
Yes.
or maybe a year before. Maybe in
Northgate.
2022, actually. I don't remember.
The Northgate Mall has been has changed a lot. That was a good place for summer before. Like there was ice cream or the frozen yogurt. There was places you can go and you
Northgate
can walk.
Mall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more alive. Now it's
It's super dead. I mean, shout out to Karma Club. I mean, they've been doing really well there, and we've had a show with Karma Club, and
they
shout out
have
to
summer
Sally.
programs as well.
They do, and they're a really, really great resource for teenagers, especially. But again, I mean, what she's doing is great, and I really think, but we just need more. We need more of it. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that too.
Yeah. Well, on the topic of summer, one of my favorite things about summer is that I have more energy to work out because the weather is nice and it like boosts my energy to want to work out versus like during winter times, like I just want to be cuddled up in my blanket and be in bed.
Right.
But summertime allows me to like get out of my comfort zone, and I feel like I can push myself harder during summer. I don't know if that happens with other people, but
No, I mean, I definitely felt it this summer, and yeah, no, I agree with you. I definitely feel like I've been pushing myself a lot harder.
yeah, and also maybe it's because of the weather, but I implemented more running, more sprints in my workouts. Again, just to get mobility, and also including some walks during the summertime was really nice to add to my activity during the day.
Yeah, and then I mean, speaking of, so you're starting to work out more, it sounds, right? So
Yeah.
how has that been for you? Because yeah,
For my hand injury.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been good. I mean, I've had to moderate a lot of things. One thing I did learn is I wish there was more programs out there that can help people with injuries, because it can definitely feel like, oh, I hurt my leg or I hurt my arm. I can't work out necessarily, but there's so many things you can still do
to keep yourself in shape.
To keep yourself not just in shape. I think moving your body is super important.
Yeah,
and
really is.
yeah, for example, yoga, Pilates helped me a lot because it's more core. I don't necessarily need to.
Can you tell me what the difference is between those two? What is I've always heard of Pilates, but I don't know what Pilates really is.
Pilates, okay. I don't want to describe it because I might be wrong, but from what I've noticed from Pilates, in my case, it's very core focused. It's very, but I'm not saying you're working out your abs all the time, but every movement, it's very core. It
involves
focused.
your core.
It's very core.
But doesn't yoga do that too?
Yoga is more like
stretching
and mobility. I would say mobility,
flexibility,
mobility. That has helped me a lot with mobility with when I feel super tight. So that's my favorite thing to do. Pilates is that's the only thing that I could really do because it was my my wrist that I couldn't move. So there's always things you can do to keep your body moving: walking, hiking, running. There isn't one thing that you can do. I know I have a friend who just recently started running, and I realized how important to find something that you really enjoy, because he's doing it to set himself goals so he can he wants to run a 5K. I think it's 5K.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But he's training himself, but he's doing it outside because of the weather. He's running, he's starting with a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. So you know, there are so many activities you can do during the summer.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you want to add something before?
Go for it. We can go to the break.
We're going to go on a short break. We're going to play Sole Purpose by
Evolving
Wings. I was going to say the other one, and we'll be right back.
Yeah. Evolving Wings. Yeah. I'm a genius, original purpose, resurrect like the phoenix. From the mother lotus emerges, no longer feel wordless. To be a service to purpose, it's evolving wings por vida. Got them all like Nita, eternal play in the brain, got me insane. Explain the pain, your seat's pain. My soul wounded, some wounds can't be computed. God's great shadows meet the darkest alley. Demons came for me, but archangels parried. Swift swings, shut the souls rapidly. Call it horror meets fantasy. Lower energies move like cavities. Sucker MCs, no substance. Ignore the earth's cry. Sucker MCs, no substance. Don't realize we never die. Misguided by subsidized lies. I'm guided by my ancestors' war cries. Borga floor spitting truth, encouraging your spine. Evolving wings is manifesting your divine. Don't give up, fly. Compassionate campaign, my sole purpose. Wings up, wings up, wings up, wings up. Compassionate campaign, my sole purpose. Wings up, wings up, wings up, wings up. Compassionate campaign, my sole purpose. Wings up, wings up, wings up. Compassionate campaign, my sole purpose. Wings up, wings up.
Fui bendecido por los grandes que fincan 4 paredes, no pudieron descifrar esta trivia. No compartí.
All right, and we are back. So again, that was Soul Purpose by Evolving Wings. You can check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. And moving right along, I did want to mention that we do have open mic next week. So August 30th, Friday, August 30th, we will be having open mic night here at the Multicultural Center of Marin. I, of course, will be hosting it. Doors will open at 6 p.m. and it'll go on until 8 p.m. It's a free event. There'll be pizza, drinks, and people to just connect with. It's a really, really great event for you to just get to meet some new artists and get to see some people perform, local artists. So it's been really great. I really like what we've been building with open mic. And yeah, I just highly recommend checking it out. Again, it'll be on August 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. So we hope to see you there. So adding to what you were saying, Santi, about working out and how you talking about movement and think how you were mentioning your friend who was running like a 5K. One thing that I've come to realize is, okay, so I've been getting more consistent with the gym, especially in July and in August now, and I've been really feeling the improvements that the gym has done, like especially on my back, because my back has always been a huge issue with me. Like I've always always had back pain, always had my back's always been uncomfortable. But I've started doing like more back exercises and stuff like that, and it's been helping me so much. Like I cannot stress. It's almost incredible. I couldn't believe it myself. Like just like working, like having dedicated days to working on my back and stuff has improved so much with my posture, has improved so much with my sleep as well. Like my back feels a lot less achy in the mornings. Like it's really, really great. So that's one thing I want to let people know is like, I don't know, if you're having back problems or if you're having issues with your back and are able to, and it doesn't hurt, like working on your back and doing back exercises is super, super great for you. And working out in general has been really great for me because it's given me like extra energy boost in the morning and in the evening. And it's also helped me get into the routine of like eating healthier and eating things that will help, keep making me stronger. So I've been really, really proud of the progress I've been creating right now with going to the gym more consistently.
Yeah, with that being said as well, I'm really happy that you're going to the gym and you're really enjoying it. One thing I noticed with others is sometimes they don't like going to the gym. They don't like lifting weights, which is like, I know social media will put out people working out the gym and doing all this stuff, but my brother, he likes mountain biking, and he found people who like mountain biking
recently.
So, he's always liked biking, but he formed a group. So he found people who like mountain biking, and they go to mountain biking every Saturday.
Yeah.
Also because the summer the weather is nice, but they all go mountain biking, and it's a group. They'll go to different trails. I know they went to Santa Cruz.
Ooh, nice.
To do a trail there. They're planning another trip, and it's not like a long trip. It's like, we'll leave early in the morning, we'll go biking, and we'll come back. And it's a form of activity. It also gives, keeps.
It's also good for social activity too.
Yeah, it's
you're riding with other people.
and I think it's a nice group activity in a way because you're technically individually doing it, but also in a group. But I just saw that, and it was so awesome because to me, it was like, you don't have to go to the gym if you don't want to, but you want to stay in shape. And, also an activity you want to do, you can do that. You can do swimming, you can do running, you can do hiking, walking. So there isn't just one specific thing that you can do. So just reiterating that, because I think you've mentioned on the show so many times, like social media in the gym and it puts this false narrative. I think you've mentioned that on the show. And my biggest thing is saying, hey, there's so many other activities you can go to and set yourself goals for. It can be a good personal goal that you can work for.
Yeah, and I think, for me, I've just been wanting to get stronger, and I think I've just being able to like lift weights and seeing myself lift heavier weights and all that, and seeing that progress has been really good for my mental health as well, because it helps show like I'm able to do something that I thought I wasn't able to do, right? And it definitely helps with again, just making me feel better about myself. So that's why I've really been enjoying my time at the gym. And then also talking about like how you're saying, find something that works for you. one thing that I've come to really realize is that I really don't like running. Like I just do not like running. And I think partly that is because it's also really uncomfortable. Like it feels uncomfortable for me to run because my left leg is smaller than my right leg. So I always feel like more pressure on my right leg. And it creates really, really like uncomfortable, and it just makes me feel really, really bad after I'm done running like a mile or something. Like I always feel like a lot of pain. So what I've been doing instead is I've just been doing like incline cardio. So it's like I just go on the treadmill and I put like a really high incline and go like at a certain pace, and I just walk. Like I just keep walking because I like hiking. Right. So it's kind of similar to hiking, because when you're hiking, you're sometimes going up like really high elevations, and you end up burning the same amount of calories you would if you were to run. It just takes a little longer, but it's still the same amount of work and effort that you're doing. So
yeah, it's very different for everyone. With that being said, I wanted to ask you, what was the biggest challenge you faced this summer?
Biggest summer
And what did
challenge.
you do to overcome it?
I mean, it has to be the gym for sure.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, because like I was saying before, I was always like I was going to the gym like inconsistently. Like I would go, but I just never really understood the workouts that I was doing. Like I did have a workout routine, but I didn't really understand like, oh, this is supposed to be helping my lateral muscles, or this is supposed to be helping my quads and my hamstrings, and this is supposed to be helping my triceps, like all that kind of stuff didn't really click until this summer, where I was really and actually I had a friend help me out with creating like an actual full workout routine, and I have to give him just a shout out to him, because he really did help me out. And I really did am grateful that he was able to show me proper form for lifting all these weights. Because that's the thing. Like, if you're doing all these, like, really heavy lifting, you want to make sure that you're doing the right form, or else you're going to hurt yourself. And that's what I was always scared of, right? Hurting myself. But after he showed me, showed me the ropes and everything, I feel so much better. And it really does. And I have been seeing progress. And his routines have really been helping me out. So, yeah, I mean, that was the big challenge at first, was just breaking that, like, fear of being at the gym. And then also just being like around people that are just much more like fit and advanced than you. I mean, it's just always going to happen, you know what I mean? But it's also like they're not there to like judge, right? It's just you put yourself in that mind state like, oh, everyone here is judging me because everyone here can lift like 395 or 400 pounds and I can't. But it's like you have to understand people, it takes people a really long time to get there. And then there's also people that just have better genes too. That's the other thing I've come to realize. Some people just have better genes and can just, build muscle quicker or build muscle more in certain areas. That's another thing I've been just realizing too. But I'm still like trying to figure out my potential. And again, like just being satisfied with where I'm at and knowing that I am making progress. So as long as I see myself making progress, I'm happy. And that's one thing that I'm really glad that I was able to overcome this summer. But how about you, Miss Santi?
A challenge.
A challenge for you.
To have fun. I feel like I was so focused in
work.
In my world and in my projects. It was stuff with the organization, but also personal projects that I had in mind. Family businesses that we have, and just really on the grind, and which is great. But at the same time, I feel like I definitely did not have fun, and that's super important for your soul, for your body.
What ideas did you have to have fun?
I think it's just really, going out.
Well, you mentioned Mount Tam.
Yeah, going out alone with friends. That is just something that I did not have this summer. I also think because we mentioned it earlier, and I think it might be a good time to bring it up as well, that you realize that your friends and peers are all taking different paths. And that happened with me this summer, where a lot of my friends took different paths, and we just didn't
communicate or talk as much.
I think our lives just went in different direction, and so we couldn't necessarily kind of like let's hang out and do all of this that normally we would do. And I feel like this year was a time where I really didn't have my friends to say, hey, let's go out, because we're all on very different schedules, and my schedule was so tight as well. So that definitely for me, having fun meant to not worry, to not do anything related to work or business. It was more of just going out to, relax and enjoy.
Turn your brain off for a little bit. Yeah.
Kind of.
Not turn your brain off, but just like relax and just be in a world where you're not working, where you're just simply not working.
Yeah, like going out to eat with your friends and just enjoying each other's company, or
to eat at 6 p.m. because nothing else is open after that time here.
or like even taking a trip. I am
you take
I
trips
travel
a lot.
quite often.
You travel quite a
but
bit.
This year I did not travel because I was so focused on this, and again I'm very proud. I had goals set for myself, but I also think it's really important to enjoy your time. And I feel like this year I did not do that, and or this summer I did not do that. So
hey, but it's not too late. You can always try it now.
Yeah, but then all of my stuff are scheduled in a
right.
Yeah, but at the same time, the reason why I'm bringing this up was because I went to ¿cómo se llama? Acupuncture.
Hunter?
No,
group.
The practice where they put like needles inside you.
Oh, acupuncture.
Eso. I can't pronounce it.
I have a cousin that does that.
Okay. So I went
tell
to
me about that.
Yeah,
tell me about
I went to a first session.
Okay.
Because of my hand. My hand.
Was it recommended by your doctor?
No. So because I was already going to the doctor and stuff, and I was like, maybe try something else. Maybe they can do something for my hand so I can heal faster and recover. And I went, and then she was mentioning like, girl, your body is so tight. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was saying, no, it's your body is tired. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I get good sleep. And she said, no. And she started asking me about my social life. And I realized then, I was like, oh, you're right. I haven't had fun. Yeah, and she looked at me and she said, you need to also have fun. It's okay to have fun. And that moment I realized and reflected on, I'm like, oh, shoot, you're right. I didn't enjoy my summer as much as I have in the past few years, and your body will react to it. So I understand also that the economy right now, in my case, this was not my case, but the economy for many might be very low and rough, and you're working right really hard. Yeah. It's a necessity. And I understand that, and just really encouraging you all to find ways to still find time to enjoy your time. Because if you're in high school, maybe you start working right away as well. And just remember that you're still 18. You're still 18. It's good to have fun.
You're still young.
You're still young. Yeah. And then for those also who are, who are in their mid-20s and they're going through realizing, oh, we're adults now. Yes, we have a lot of responsibilities, but also take time for yourself. And the gym is important. Moving your bodies is important.
Yeah. I mean, it's something I just highly recommend.
Yeah, but that's a part of
other things. It's good to have hobbies
of other things that you enjoy. So just putting it out there, because that was something that I didn't know that it was a challenge of mine to say, hey, pause.
Yeah. And I mean, going to the acupuncture, did it help? Did you feel better?
Oh, that was so interesting. I guess that follows into trying something new.
Yeah.
I was really nervous.
Because they put like needles, no?
Because I mean, I've seen on movies what that is.
Yeah,
but
I've had it done on me before. Because I was saying, my cousin's an acupuncture, so yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting how my body reacted, how my certain areas, especially for example,
it almost feels like it doesn't hurt. You just feel it though, right?
But here's the thing: if you're really tight, it's harder for it to go in.
Oh.
I didn't know that, and I realized also how tense my body was. Like I couldn't relax.
Probably because you're nervous because we're going to stick a bunch of needles in you.
Maybe that's maybe it's personality-wise as well. Yeah, for example, I'll give you two examples. My brother and I. My brother is a more calmer, relaxing. His vibe is that way. My mind is constantly thinking, like, what am I going to do? What is this? I don't know why that is. But I can, if you ask me to be, close my eyes, be silent, my mind is spitting and going. So, laying there, she was like, just relax. And I had a hard time relaxing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. And so she was like, you're very tense, you're very tight, you need to relax and just breathe. And I found that super interesting. I got to learn more about my body. There were certain areas where I was like, oh, I did not know that, so and even with my my knee, and my knee's been kind of funky lately, and she just literally moved my toe, and I was like, does that feel better? I'm like, oh yeah, it does feel better, but it was just her moving something. So definitely a great experience for me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's good that you tried something new and that you saw that you learned something, right? At the end of the day, you learned something. You always learn something new when you're doing it, something new. So I know that makes sense, right? Anyways, yeah, I'm glad that you went through that. I remember like I was saying, my cousin, when my first trip to Mexico, so my cousin went to China actually to go learn how to do acupuncture and stuff, because I think it originates from China.
I don't know. All I know that the person I worked with, she is specialized in Chinese medicine.
Yeah, so I think acupuncture does have its origins in China. Yeah.
Oh my god, she made this tea. Oh my god, it was so delicious.
Really good.
The smell. It smelled like pumpkin.
Yeah. I'm in the mood for tea. It's a good idea. Tea's good.
Coffee. Let's go after this.
Yeah. But anyways, as I was saying, when I was in Mexico, funny thing is, I got a really bad stomach ache my first day that I was there, because I think I wasn't used to the food and stuff there, and that happens every now and then if you haven't traveled in a while. Especially that was my first time traveling. But anyways, when I was there, my cousin, she put like all these needles. Well, she did the whole acupuncture thing on me, and like the stomach ache went away. It was like magic. It really was like magic. Like she just put like a bunch of needles on my back and said like, yeah, this area right here, this helps with this. She was explaining all this stuff to me, and I was like, what the heck? Like, how is this like working right now? You know what I mean? So it's really cool, and she still does it to this day. So that's kind of where I've kind of had that experience with acupuncture. But moving on, one other aspect of the summer that I wanted to touch on, and I didn't even have a chance to really go, but I did want to mention it, was the fair, the Marin County Fair. Did you go to the Marin County Fair this year?
No, it's been a couple of years and I don't go.
You haven't
I'll
been?
go watch the fireworks. I think the fireworks are nice, especially since, back home in Guatemala, like we put out fireworks. There's no regulations, I would say.
Well, people still do it here too, even if there's regulations.
But it's not like back home. It's very different. So, actually getting to watch fireworks, and I live like, it's very accessible to go there.
Yeah.
So
but you didn't go to like the actual fairgrounds.
No.
You just watched it from home.
I think I went last year, but that was because of the I was supporting a friend who performed there.
Yeah. I was so I went to the fairgrounds on the 4th of July. I didn't go inside the fair, but I went like in the outside of the Civic Center and stuff. And there was so many people. Like, there was just so many people.
This one felt like, I'm telling you, it felt like the first summer that it didn't feel like COVID.
Yeah, there was a ton of people. Like, so many people outside. All Latino people, too. That's the other thing I want to mention. So many Latino people. But it was also cool because they had, like, food vendors and stuff outside. So you didn't have to go inside the fair to get food. You could get food outside the fair, which I thought was a really good idea. And I think that's what also brought in a lot of people, because people can enjoy the fireworks without having to pay the $25 now to get into the fair. They can just buy food and just enjoy and bring their own chairs and watch the fireworks. Like, I thought that was a really cool change that they did this year, because that was definitely not a thing before.
I didn't see it. I was more of the in the like in the hills over there. We rode our bikes to go to watch the fireworks. So we just kind of like stayed up in the little hill and got to see the fireworks. But
very cool.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of amusement parks or stuff like that. I get scared. One of my fears is I don't like the drops on certain things. So I've been on the zipper. I have never gone to
the Ring of Fire.
The Ring of Fire. Whenever
really?
Yeah. No. I cannot.
Were you close?
I was close and I started crying because of how scared I was. But I've done other like I've done it looks like a hammer that goes like this.
I forget which one you're talking. I know. I know what you're talking about. I forget what it's called. Yeah. But yeah.
So I've been on them, but I always get scared, and so I'm like, I don't like to go.
Yeah. I mean, me too. Usually when I go to the fair, as of recently, like, well, I didn't go this year and I did go last year. Other than the rides, I just like looking at the art exhibits and stuff. I think that stuff's always really cool. But it's also super hot during those days.
There's
when
no
the fair
shade
is here.
area.
I mean, there's shade areas, but they're like,
Not really,
Why
because it's kind of in the middle of.
well, I'm saying like the tents and stuff that they have.
Yeah,
But also, you're true. There is like a shaded like area for people to eat, but that's kind of it. Like, there's no like rest areas that are shaded.
Yeah, and I don't know, just the fair growing up, it's different for me now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hit the same anymore.
I feel like if you're still in like your teenage years, you'll.
Well, it's
you'll
all
have
teenagers
fun.
that pretty much go there.
I can see that.
And I know, Kim has volunteered there in the past too.
She has.
Yeah.
Really?
Kim volunteered there at some point. I remember. And
didn't know that.
yeah, she did. And I think that's also a cool opportunity. Like, if you can volunteer there, because it's like a long day, and also you just get to go into the fair for free, which I think is cool. I think there should just be more
Take
accessibility.
a ride while you're volunteering.
Yeah, exactly. Also, really, I mean, one thing that I always liked about the fair was like the petting zoo and seeing all the rabbits and stuff. I always enjoyed that aspect. But anyways, I didn't get to enjoy the fair this year, and honestly, I don't feel like I really missed out on too much. I don't think I mean, like, I don't see what else they could add to that fair to make it more interesting or to make more people want to go. I mean, there's always those concerts that they have there, I guess, but it's like, I don't know, the music there's never really called me out. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to bring up, just because, again, whenever people bring up summer here in Marin County, they always got to bring up the Marin County Fair. But yeah.
Okay, my other question is, what was your favorite way to relax during the summer?
Ooh, my favorite. I didn't actually like sleeping in that much this summer. I really
feel like
didn't.
It doesn't.
No, because it was so hot. It got so hot. So it's like, why would you want to sleep? Well, I can't sleep when it's super hot. You know what I mean? And like, we have like no AC in my place and stuff, and like the fans can only do so much. So I always try to. I went to a lot of cafes during the summer. That was one thing that I did to help relax. And actually, one thing that I've actually really come to realize is I like working. So yes, I like working here at the office, but I also like working at different locations too, because it helps. Having a change of scenery can help you out so much. When it comes,
yes.
You creatively, yes, yeah, because it just brings you into a new space. You feel like you're doing something new. Like, as long as you get that feeling of something fresh, then go check out other places and cafes. Like, I mean, there's a lot of great cafes here in San Rafael. That's the one thing I can give San Rafael a shout out. There's a lot of great cafes here that are nice and that I've had the chance to check out. And I feel like I'm more productive when I'm switching locations and not working at the same location every single day.
I agree.
That's a big recommendation I have for people who are struggling with concentration and again, like you were saying, being more creative or finding some new creative outlets.
Absolutely. I agree with that. For me, I feel like this summer I really took the time to relax at the theaters. I really went to watch a lot of films.
A lot of films.
Yeah.
Only film I watched, I actually have not watched many films this year. I think the only movies I really watched was Spider-Man 3 when that got re-released and Deadpool and Wolverine. So it's just been superhero movies this year. 2 movies, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I really wanted, I don't know, I felt more inclined to just, I want a cool place. I just want to relax and take my mind on a lot of things, because like I said, I was pretty busy with running a lot of things this summer, and so I just wanted something like can take my mind off that.
Right.
So going to the movies was really helpful for me, and even stay at home late at night and just put on a film and make some popcorn and snacks. That was my way. We watched Deadpool. Deadpool was really funny.
Yeah.
Like Bad Boys. What was that last?
Yeah, I heard, that came out too.
Yeah, all of these films.
I'm looking forward to the new Joker movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I really got into, I don't know, going to the theater. And just going.
Okay, so that's one fun thing that you did.
I mean, I guess so.
You were mentioning earlier in the show, I didn't do anything fun. But going to the theaters is fun.
But I feel like that's something you can do and like all around.
Sure.
But that was my way of relaxing. But okay, my last question. What is something you will take away from the summer and apply, whether for the following summer or the end of the year?
Oh, definitely. My biggest takeoff from the summer is that just I shouldn't fear anything. I shouldn't fear trying new things at all, because I've tried the new things now and I've realized, oh, there really isn't that much to fear. It's just the initial feeling of fear is it sucks, but it's like once you get used to this new experience, you get to start realizing, okay, this is something I want to continue doing, or something I don't want to continue doing, right? So that's definitely my biggest thing, is just don't have fear. Just try something new. And it worked out for me.
I love that answer. I would also say the same. During the summer, I also took a lot of risks and a lot of learning. My family, we are big entrepreneurs, and we ended up starting this new business, and that was a very different industry from what I'm used to, and that took a lot of learning and understanding. And but at the end of the day, I was also nervous and kind of scared of dipping my toes into something completely different, and then realizing, oh, this is so interesting, this is so cool, I enjoy it. And then also looking at my professional career and saying, hey, these are other things that are opportunities are showing up, and how can I improve and better myself, and taking all of that. So yeah, I agree with you, definitely taking the risk and enjoying the process at the same time.
Enjoying the process.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yes, you can have so many things, chaotic things, but also take time to enjoy life, because like you said, you blink of an eye, I'm 15, then I was 18, then I was 21,
right.
And then now I'm going to be 23, which is great. But then blinking 25. So just enjoy your time, guys. Whether it's just a hike, a walk, a run, or sitting outside.
And really don't be afraid to try something new.
Yeah, try something new.
Really
guys.
don't be afraid.
I think if we can take something out of this show, is try something new. And yeah, we will see you guys next time. Thank you
for watching. Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.